Cazadors, young Cazadors, legendary Cazadors, and Specimen 73. Welcome to the 22nd edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the fourth episode of Season 3. We are the show that compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quests with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. This is your host for tonight's show, Pat. And I am joined this evening by co-host Andrew. Andrew, how are you today?
What's going on?
Not much. And we're also joined by increasingly frequent guest co-host Ray. How are you doing?
Doing great this evening, thanks.
That's terrific. Good to hear it. So unfortunately, Denny had a conflict. So I think we're kind of in this loop, Andrew, where like you and Denny and I are kind of destined never to be on the show at the same time again. We're having terrible luck lately.
Yeah. Maybe we are all superheroes of each other because none of us in the same place at all anymore ever.
I shall go into my phone booth and change into Denny.
Oh, Denny, where did you come from? Oh man, you just missed Pat.
Oh yeah,
Outfire or whatever that scene was.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So we I think due to various conflicts, we got a little bit out of order. We did some call-in feedback last week. So this week we are going to pick up on our last two quests from episode, or I guess session 2. I guess that's what we should call it. Session 2 of the roundtable. And specifically, those are two quests from the Tales of the Commonwealth mod. We're going to be picking up Radio Raiders and Like a Good Neighbor and running through some feedback there. We also may have a little bit of join-in feedback from some listeners, and we'll do a special. We'll do the Correspondence Corner, and maybe also do King of the Bunker Hill, just kind of depending on how our time is going. But before we jump into the show content, how has everybody been doing? Any sort of like a really good gameplay or other activities to chime in on before we jump into some of the quest action?
Well, it's not exactly gameplay, but are we at liberty to make any announcements? Are we stepping on toes of Michael?
He's put it on the Facebook and the Twitters, so I think we are good to go. I'm actually a couple episodes behind on the Mothership podcast. He may have talked about it this week on his show, but I think you're talking about a very special event that's going to be happening this July.
Yes, sir. In our city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, on what is it, July 16th?
16th. It's the Sunday that's close to the 16th. I don't have a calendar right in front of me, but it's around. I think it's the 16th of July. We are going to be doing. Michael got us. Yeah, it is the 16th of July. Michael got us submitted into the Philadelphia Podfest, which I don't know if he's participated in that before. Andrew, you've been around the ASA universe longer than I have.
The first time for any of us, I believe, and then that made me, of course, immediately look up when is the Indianapolis Podfest, and there isn't one, so we're going to have to start a podcast festival in Indianapolis too, I think.
Clearly, we have a mission. Absolutely.
There is one in Chicago, however.
Maybe you can jump in on that. So it's we're going to get a chance to record. We have a 1-hour time slot on the 16th. We're going to get a chance to record a live episode, and I think he submitted as the Skyrim addict, but with a note that we were going to maybe do a little bit of a sampler of some of the ASA network shows. So we haven't really planned it all out, but yeah, we just found out this week. Really excited to be part of that. Looks like we're going to be on a agenda with a few other local. The focus is on podcasts from the Philly area. So I'm actually not super familiar with some of the casts that are listed. So I'm looking forward to getting to know some of these new shows over the next couple of months.
The list is extensive, and I've heard a few of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll have to catch up offline. Maybe that'll be maybe we can do a Podfest prep special or something, and share some tidbits of what we know about some of those other shows. Yeah. So that's really exciting. I think it was very, very cool that Michael was able to get us into the Podfest.
Yeah. So awesome. Good stuff. And
I think also really, really early in this, there is something that I saw at there's an Indiegogo for a PodCon in Seattle in December. It looks like it's maybe the first time that thing's run, and it's more. I think it's as much for just podcast fans as it is creators, because they're going to have some big name podcasts like Welcome to Night Vale and some of the other like really really big podcasts are going to do some live recording, and that looks like something that maybe worth checking out, especially for those who can easily get to Seattle.
I've never been. Good excuse.
The set that I work in Dragon Con is for the podcasting track, so that's always fun. That's how I got involved with it. So it's
what do you do?
Well, I just do the tech ops for it, but it's all of the podcasting track for Dragon Con. So it's a lot of national podcasts that are involved in talks and panels on different podcasting subjects.
So Ray, is that something you still do? Are you still active with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I knew Lee was a Dragon Con fan. I'm sure you've talked about it. I just missed that you were also Dragon Con connected.
Yeah, and I missed it last year because my niece got married, but
it's always Labor Day, right? Is it for Labor Day weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been, but back when I used to play a collectible card game called Vampire: The Eternal Struggle, there was always back in the day when that game was big. There was always a big tournament at Dragon Con, and a lot of people I knew were Dragon Con regulars.
I just heard mention of someone attending Dragon Con in the early 90s on a podcast the other day, and I was like, holy fuck, I didn't realize that Dragon Con's been around for that long.
Oh yeah, it's a long-standing con.
That's impressive. That's awesome. So is there going to be an ASA podcasting meetup there? Are you going to meet up with Lee and try to convince Blake to show up? Aren't there a couple other Georgia people?
Yeah, there's a few.
Gotta rally the troops.
Yeah.
I knew Blake was there, and Ray. We got more than those three guys. That's good. I didn't know we had that big a Georgia contingent. So yeah, you guys should definitely do a meetup.
Might be one or two more. I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, at least Blake and Ray and Lee can get together and have a good old time with them.
There we go. Mm-hmm. So I think we also, in terms of same thing. I'm not sure if Ray is ready to launch this, but I think we have some. I saw some interesting news on the Facebook page. Ray, is your mod ready to talk about? Is that something you want to share with the audience?
I'm still trying to figure out how to package it to make it easy to install, but it's definitely fully up and running, and with the tweaks to the lighter colored lettering, I think it looks pretty sharp. I'm happy with it.
It's great.
Yeah, so specifically, those of you on the Facebook page, you may have already taken a look at this, but Ray has become a mod author, which is really exciting. Yeah, it's very cool. We have one of our own in the modder community, like actually in the creating business.
Oh, that's great.
And he's made a
in the
flag
smallest
mod.
possible of ways, but
hey, you got to start somewhere. Yeah.
But once I started looking into the StarCore mod possibility, it was a little intimidating, so I decided to scale it back.
Yeah, so that was your original goal was to actually build you were going to build a mod that marked the StarCores. Was that the plan or the hope?
Yeah, that was and we were just kind of tossing ideas back and forth last week, and so yeah, that was that turned out to be a pretty daunting task. I finally watched a video just to see what was involved, since I haven't done anything with those yet, and it's pretty crazy.
Would that be like complicated scripting or something, or what makes I mean I can kind of get it, right? Because you seem like you're interacting more with the game as opposed to just tweaking a texture or something. But I'm not even sure what all would be involved at this point. But you figure that there are. I looked and there aren't any mods, that attempt to do anything like that. So I got to imagine it's pretty tough, because there's certainly some modders out there that would be able to do it pretty easily. I think if it was something that was easy to do.
I of course don't know anything about it, but I suggested it because I thought it might be a little easier because they are stationary objects that all you have to do is be able to locate them and put like a quest marker here. But I guess putting a quest marker on a sort of three-dimensional plane, I just see. I don't, and I have no idea how mods work. I have no idea the peel back behind the curtain what you're looking at when you see. Speaking of which, Ray, can you do that? Like, if you see another person's mod, do you have the capabilities of just opening that up and seeing their code, what they programmed, everything? Can you see everything like that? The skeleton of what all they're doing?
Yeah. Yep.
So.
The tools that you use to unpack the game files also unpack the mods.
So, can you take inspiration from the mod in
for the Baron's Eye Stones?
Baron's Eye Stones? Can you look and see how they do it, and then apply that to Fallout 4 somehow? Does it work like that? Does it transfer like that at all?
It could. I didn't get a chance to do that, but I was thinking about that when I was first putting it together. But
yeah,
they're fairly similar in the way that they they manipulate everything.
Cool, great. No, it's quite an undertaking and very impressive. That's awesome. Kudos for the awesome looking flag, right?
Yeah,
thanks.
Yeah, really nice.
It definitely gives me a greater appreciation for people that are doing some of these pretty serious mods.
Yeah.
They're
building whole stories and worlds and creating characters and like inserting basically a whole new game into the game. It's so impressive.
Yeah. There's a mod that I need to give another chance to, which is one that it's for Fallout 4, and it is, at least as of a while back, it was on Xbox, that points you to the bobbleheads, and you go to the Vault-Tec headquarters or someplace that's in the game right now, and they change a terminal in that headquarter location, and it gives you a quest marker. There's 3 quests. There's one for the special mods, one for the skill mods, and one for the weapon, I guess the weapon mods, because what do you got? You got melee, big guns. Anyway, and it was a super cool idea, because it turned the quest for the bobbleheads into like an actual little mini quest. It sort of worked, but when I loaded it, I already had some of the bobbleheads, and it wouldn't clear the markers for the ones you already had.
Yeah, you should probably install that before.
Yeah, it's one that I keep I'm always like thinking about it like halfway through a character build. It's like, oh shit, I should have tried that mod, because I think it'd be pretty fun to just go with that, because it would give you, because the bobbleheads, they run you all over the map. You find some interesting stuff. You get some experience. So it's a pretty fun thing to do, just to go seek out the bobbleheads.
Victor always promotes is it Vault Gals, Vault Girls, Bobble Girls? I don't remember what it's called, but
it's Vault
Bobblehead
Girls.
Yeah, it changes all the bobblehead statues to the female version, which I think is very awesome too. Yeah, that's great. So kudos to that, Ray.
Yeah. So that's there is at least one quest marker type mod on Xbox, but based on what Ray's saying, it sounds like it's pretty complicated.
Here's another question. Here's another question for you, Ray. Yeah, you said this will not be brought to Xbox anytime soon because I don't have a console to test it on. I have seen other mod authors write that in the description of their mods, but it works just fine on Xbox. So how does that work between the conversion of creating a mod on PC and then making it available for Xbox?
Theoretically, it should react the exact same way in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's ultimately the same file structure and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing that anybody that's done any kind of programming or modding or anything like that, nobody likes to release anything that they haven't tested, to themselves or their group, in order to make sure that it's fully functional the way you expect it to be.
Otherwise, you get people bitching at you, right?
Well, you just don't read the comments if you have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Never look below the line.
That's right. Never read the comments.
Oh, that's great. Awesome.
So So yeah. So keep us posted. I know those on the Facebook page will see that. So that's a good plug for the Facebook page, which you can find at facebook.com/group/a Skyrimatic podcast. I think maybe I'm rusty on that, but you can certainly find the Facebook group. It is a closed. It's a closed, private, whatever they call it, group. You need to ask permission to join. But if you're a fan of Skyrim or Fallout or related games, we will happily approve you joining, and you can see some of the stuff we talk about in terms of people's character updates. Ray's Lee just joined the group here, so I had Lee on the brain. Ray's update and everything else. So hey, Lee, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Oh, we see Lee is muted. Lee is muted. Okay, so maybe Lee is not quite ready to. Lee, you there?
Now you're on. How's it going, Lee?
I am here. I am both late and unprepared. How about you?
I'm getting a little bit of a weird connection from you, Lee. Can you maybe hop off and hop back on or something? See if we can get a better connection out of that.
Alrighty.
All right, we'll see you in a second.
All right, thanks, Lee. Hop right back on. Hopefully, we'll get a better connection the second try. So anyway, join the Facebook page. You can get some updates on what we got going on in the greater ASA universe of shows. So maybe while we're waiting for Lee to get rejoined, Lee. All right, Lee has popped back in. Lee, let's give us an audio check. How are we doing tonight? All right, we still have Lee on mute. Let's see.
Okay,
Lee,
yeah.
right.
Apparently, I'm having to hit the unmute button on my screen in order to go.
Your
live.
sound is much better this time. So thanks for popping in and back out.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. It's technology, and we'll all fight through it and get all connected here. So thanks for jumping in. So Lee, just as a quick reminder to you, we were just about to jump into our two Tales of the Commonwealth quests for tonight, which are Radio Raiders and Like a Good Neighbor. So maybe Lee, while you get settled in, we'll check in with Andrew. Andrew, you want to give us a quick rundown? I think Andrew, probably for you and me and Ray, probably people we've talked about characters. If you want to give a little quick character reminder, I think we probably don't need a full intro, but a quick character reminder, and then maybe tell us about what happens with Radio Raiders. What's up with that? How do you pick up that quest?
Well, Radio Raiders is okay. There was something we needed to cover before we get into it. Is that there's not a very well written out wiki for all of these tales from the Commonwealth. So we're just kind of trying to play. I forget even where I got the order for the schedule where we're covering all these.
I think well, maybe just to share it real quick. I think Chris Takahashi, I believe he does have a wiki for his various mods. It might be 3dnpc.com is his website, and on that website he's got a wiki.
It's just not quite as fleshed out.
Oh yeah,
as
of course, yeah. It's not a Nukipedia, but it's
like,
got the basics.
Exactly, like Nukipedia gives you step-by-step breakdown of all these quests. So they're a little bit bare bones as far as the wiki is concerned, and the wiki entitled this quest Radio Distress Call, but in your Pip-Boy, when you actually look in the radio tab, it was just called something generic, like it might have been just Distress Call or something.
I think that's what it is, Distress Call.
And you turn your Pip-Boy tune your Pip-Boy to that distress call, and I believe is that where Belcher Cave then becomes a quest marker on your map, or the location marker pops up then at that point, correct?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And at that point you can stop by your new location. The quest, the real title of the quest pops off then. It's called Radio Raiders, which I'm not exactly sure what that has to do with the quest itself, other than picking it up on the Pip-Boy. Was the radio in the quest somehow there?
No.
I don't know. Yeah. So a basic rundown if you wanted to just look at the Pip-Boy, and you know how it has the quest stages printed out, just the basic rundown, and we can get into more details of this quest, of course, is that step 1, you have to take care of Kane. Step 2, your optional step is to free Kane. Step 3 would be to unlock the cell door, and 4 is return the Black Eye Bobby. So we have some sort of relationship here with Kane and Black Eye Bobby. Is it Bobby or Billy? I messed that up. Is it Black Eye Bobby?
Bobby.
Okay. Yeah. So Black Eye Bobby tells you have to go take care of Kane, right? He likes basically trying to turn you into a hitman, where you have to go take care of Kane. Does he explain to you, Ray, what Kane has done to deserve this punishment?
No, and he actually doesn't. He's very vague about it. So it's not like you need to go take care of him. It's take care of Kane.
Deal with him. Like go talk to him.
So there's multiple ways that you can do it. One of them is talking to him.
And so where does he send you? What location did
the federal stockpile?
Okay, yeah.
Which is close by.
Yeah, that's not too far away. I like entering through the church there, or you can go down the hill and enter in the back. Actually, that's probably the front way. The church is probably the back way. But
I would say the church is the back way. Yeah.
I always go in through the church. I don't know if it has a more specific name than that. Probably does. It's just down the hill from the hippie robot, Dr. Feelgood, or Good Feels, Dr. Feelgood.
Good Feels, yeah.
Oh, I'm messing everything up. So just down the hill from there, there's a church, and you can have the back entryway into the federal stockpile reserve thing.
The church is called Lonely Chapel.
The Lonely Chapel. Very nice. Thank you, Lee. So what is Kane doing down in there? What is his what do we find with Kane?
He's just in a well, I mean, the room he's in is a vanilla. It is a room in vanilla. So he's just in a room.
Is it kind of a locked door or anything?
I think it is locked. I think it's just a normal, locked. I think probably novice level door. I think it is behind the locked door, and I don't remember if the mod adds the locked door or not.
Okay.
I know there was a locked door in the middle of the section you come into first from the church side.
Yeah. So Andrew, what? Okay, you find Kane. You get into the room where he is. What did you do? Yeah. So you talk to him. Then what? What was your
Kane? I can't remember the exact order, but I believe that Kane reveals to you that he is somehow related, possibly the brother of Bobby or something. Is that correct?
All right.
I thought that he made some crazy reveal like that.
Well, there is that. I didn't get that from him.
Or is that from Bobby later on?
I think it's from Bobby later.
I may have just stepped on. I may have just stepped on the big reveal. Sorry about that.
That's right. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
But I freed Kane just because I don't know. Bobby seems weird.
Yeah.
Or something. It just seemed like there's more to it. I mean, I could have done the Ray proven method, which is to just go in and kill everything and see what happens.
Which is what Max did.
Then reload and then go in and play it the other way. Sorry, how did Max do that?
Well, he came in from down below.
Did you kill Kane?
And saw Kane standing there and shot him. So it turns out he's allergic to bullets.
Poor Kane.
So now, Andrew, did you get Kane to follow you?
I had him. It's one of those things where he will meet you instead of follow. It's weird.
Oh, okay. Where does he meet you?
Doesn't he meet you back at Belcher's? I don't remember.
All right. So I was expecting him to follow. All right. So for me, I played that quest once with another character and killed Kane, and and maybe we'll get to that in a second. So there's one result if you kill Kane. There's another result if you don't kill Kane. So with my roundtable character, I was going to not kill Kane.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get him to leave his damn little room. And I thought he was maybe I should have just left and he would have met
that
me.
bugged
Maybe
out for you. That sucks.
Well, or maybe I just misplayed it. Maybe if I had left, like you said, he would have met me in Belcher's Cave. Maybe that's the problem.
That was one of those things I thought that was one of the commands in the conversation structure. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can follow the person there, or you can just say, I will meet you there at a later point. Or I think that says that in the...
And maybe I hosed it up because I did not catch that. So I expected him to follow me, and he never followed me, so I just killed him again.
I could be totally wrong about that. Lee or Ray, do you have any...
Yeah, what did you guys do with the cane?
I'll let you know as soon as I get there.
Lee walked in and pulled the Ray and killed everyone the first time.
In the in Belcher's Cave. So if you do that in Belcher's Cave, you don't even get the quest.
Oh, you killed. Oh, yeah, right. That's right. Yeah.
And I had, I did a recording. I don't know if it was going to be released or not, but I did a recording that was like 14 minutes of everything I did after I got to Duca World, and it was after that I did the open season, and then I went back looking for the quest, and it's like, oh, I guess on the way in I had gone through and killed everything, so
Whoops.
no quest for me. So I actually backed up to before that, and now I've done maybe a quarter of open season, and I came back because I was hoping to have enough time to catch up to this.
What side are you on an open season? Are you on the Raiders side or the...
No, open season is the kill all the Raiders side.
Yeah.
The other side is the Grand Plan or something.
So you're going through and killing all the Raiders. The bosses Mags, Black, and
right. The other was an Ambitious Plan. The other quest.
Perfect.
So yeah. I went and I killed Mags and her brother and Lisa or Laura, or whoever it is, their head henchman.
Yeah, that's fun. That's fun doing that. It's tough. And on survival mode, as soon as you attack any of them, all the raiders in the room, which bring me up to like 30 or something, they just start swarming you immediately.
Yeah,
crazy. Especially the disciples one. I found that particularly hard for some reason. That structure.
Yeah. Did you? How did you kill? Did you start at the top where Nisha hangs out and work your way down, or how did you work that disciples room?
Yeah, that's how mainly I did all of them, was like attack the main bad guy first, get them down. That's generally how I operate in a battle anyhow. If there's a higher powered enemy and then like 4 other enemies around them all attacking at once, I will try to take down the highest powered one first and then worry about the other. I don't know if that is strategically the correct way to battle or not, but that's just...
See, I go just the opposite. I try to take out the easiest one first, so there are fewer things doing damage. And I don't know if that's right either. That's just I start like if I've got. Well, I guess it depends. Like it depends on the enemies, because like if I walk into a room and there's like a glowing one and a bunch of ferals, I will typically try to take out like the ferals first. Although you have to be careful with glowing ones because they can resurrect the ferals. So that one can be a little, maybe that's a bad example. But I usually try to take out the wimpy ones first, because then there's fewer things giving you damage.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Yeah, although, and even that can be tricky though, because it kind of depends on what it is. Like if you've got like 5 super mutants and one of them has a minigun, like you got to take out the minigun guy because he can just deal so much damage to you.
Yeah.
So it sort of depends on the situation, but like if it's just sort of more generic, like 4 things and one of them's a little bit tougher, I'll usually take out the wimpy ones first, just to lower the pool of people. Yeah. And actually that's one thing, and I know we've talked a little bit about our favorite weapons and things. I really feel like now I'm understanding how to make use out of Kellogg's gun, which has the effect of it refills your action points on a critical hit, and I've got enough action points that I can get a critical hit at the end of a clip, and I can empty the clip and get a critical hit at the end of the clip, and so I can basically sort of like almost sort of constantly keep my action points full.
Do you also have the perk that reloads your ammunition after your last?
My agility's not high enough. I've got my agility boosted with armor and stuff, but I don't have enough natural agility to get that fast hands perk. That would help. That would actually make this even better because I wouldn't have to take time to reload.
Yeah, that'd be a sweet little package.
But yeah, I finally figured out it's like, well, wait a minute, because a colored gun does a ton of damage, but it fires really slow. But of course, VATS kind of ameliorates that negative.
Doesn't it only have like 5 bullets?
Six.
Not even, I was like, it's not even a 6-shooter. Jesus.
Yeah, but it pumps out so much damage. If you're in a spot where you're like at a 95% hit chance on VATS, I think with full gunslinger is like 248 or something. It's just like a shit ton of damage from one bullet.
Right.
I'm sorry?
The 44, right?
Yeah, it's a 44. Yeah, it's a 44. So you put the max barrel and blah blah blah. All fully trick it out, which you need gun nut.
Yeah, I don't have any of that gun.
4, I think. So I think you need gun nut 4 to fully trick that gun out. So it's a little trickier than deliverer or the 10 mil. But once you get it tricked out, it's nice.
I'm starting to get all my assigned specials filled out, so I can actually start playing around with extra perks now. So I've got to think about what kind of extra perks I want to.
Yeah, so you're a good roundtable player. You do your assigned perks first. I just kind of scatter them in. I just work on everything at once.
They're not all 100% complete, but I do have at least a couple points in all of them.
Yeah.
One thing that I have started doing this last week, I decided to go ahead and put all of the 5, maybe I only have 4, at least 4 points into what is the one with the unarmed?
Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Iron Fist. Yes. So I've been I pumped everything into Iron Fist, and I haven't been using that one very much, but I pulled out that Power Fist that you get from Swan, and I've been hauling that around with a 5 level in the. It's really ridiculous how much damage it does, and it's amazing the animations that you get. They're a lot different. The kill screens that you get from the unarmed are much cooler than the ones you get from the gun. So if you haven't done any of the unarmed stuff, go do your Iron Fist, get that Swan Power Fist, and run around with that. I've never done that very much, and the one thing I'm totally baffled by is why does that perk that lets you attack from a further distance with melee weapons not also apply to unarmed? That would be such an amazing thing that I could stack on top of this. That would make it so much more fun. But I'm baffled why they wouldn't also include your unarmed attacks.
I think it's a fun cap they have on the game itself.
The fun cap.
I assume it's some sort of nebulous balance thing, but I've said it many times before on the show. I think unarmed is not very good in 4 compared to what it was in New Vegas or 3. So I agree with you, Andrew. I think it would be really cool if Blitz also worked on the unarmed.
Yeah, that's
it seems pretty natural, but for whatever reason, maybe I don't know. Maybe the notion is that you need the reach of a melee weapon to be able to do it. I don't know. I agree with you. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Who knows? Sorry, I took us way off course there. We were talking about
and I didn't help any with the gun tangent. So
Kane out of his cell. Pat, you said he got stuck in your cell,
or I didn't play it right, so I just killed him.
That's interesting. We'll hear how that changes the end.
But you got him out, right?
I took him back. I just did the thing where I said, "Hey, I'll meet you there," and I fast traveled back, and then he's standing by the entry of the cave when you fast travel there. And from that point, Ray, what did you do after you killed everyone the first time? Did you release Kane? Did you kill him and leave him home?
Well, so when I killed everybody in Belcher's Cave, I was just checking to see if the whole place would go aggro on you, and they don't.
Wait, they don't?
No.
That's interesting.
You can kill Bobby right in front of Bad X, and he'll just stand there
Does he
until
say?
you attack him.
Does Bad X say anything like, "Hey, that was crazy"?
No.
That's really interesting.
So,
I wonder why that is.
Maybe he's a little
it wasn't
slow.
in his plan.
Yeah. He didn't realize that Ray would come in and just gun everybody down.
But when you kill Kane and go back to talk to Bobby, he's well, he was my brother. I didn't really want you to kill him, but I guess I did mislead you a little bit. So he still gives you the gun.
Why would he even send you off under the mysterious? It wasn't exactly take care of him, but you're right.
He did say the words "take care of him" was exactly what he said.
Was the phrase okay? So like,
and that's the point. It's ambiguous, right?
What the fuck did he expect? Come on,
Yeah.
Bob.
Well, especially from Max.
Yeah, you can't tell a person like Max, go take care of business.
Well, remember what he says.
Yeah,
If you kill him, he says, "Well, that shows what kind of maniac or whatever word he uses you are." That when I said "take care of," you immediately interpreted that as murdering, or so he sort of turns it against you, the character, by saying, "Well, it's you. You're the one who's take care of to kill." So
that's hardly maniacal, right? You cannot be a maniac for assuming that the phrase "take care of."
I agree. I thought it was a little like from a narrative language perspective, it was maybe a little dodgy that was the way they played it out.
Yeah, but
so Max got the gun and didn't really care. He's not really impressed with how raidery Bobby is anyway. So
yeah, he's got weird mascara or something.
Yeah, he does have a weird face paint job or tattoo job or whatever the hell he's got going on. Yeah, it's a little creepy.
Did anyone leave him alive? I brought him back, and he revealed that he was his brother or something. And I was just like,
if you kill him, Bobby says he's his brother as well. So either way,
I think if I remember right, there was some kind of scene like he was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And like they kind of got mad at each other. Was there any sort of past? Does Bobby reveal anything about Kane after if you tell him that you killed him, Ray?
No, he just says that he's his younger brother. I didn't even know that he was a ghoul because I couldn't really see him other than the fact that I could see a guy standing in the dark in the distance.
And
and was able to get a sniper drop on him.
Got him. So Kane was a ghoul,
and yet he was Bobby's younger brother.
And so how old is Bobby? He hasn't been around since.
Hard to say.
Or whatever.
Well, I don't think you have to have been in the original bombing to become ghoulified.
I guess not.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Because you get people. You get like in Fallout 3, Moira becomes ghoulified if you set off the bomb in Megaton. Spoiler alert. So you can definitely become ghoulified in like the current the current age or whatever.
How long does that process take? Do you think to go from?
Well, with Moira, it's basically instant. Like you set off the bomb, and like if you immediately go to the there's a ghoul settlement, which I forget the name of it in Fallout 3, that you find her as a ghoul. So for her, it's basically instantaneous because she's like overexposed to radiation.
I remembered someone saying it depends on your genetic makeup whether you ghoul or die.
I think that's I think that's been in the lore.
Okay.
Yeah, in the where was I just reading this? In part of Nuka World, there's some terminals you read and stuff, and this one group talks about how they were already underground when the bombs went off, and over time a lot of them or all of them I think ghoulified, but some of them were feral and some weren't. And so they were, they basically stayed there for 100 years and then started to come out, look around, see what was going on.
And as soon as you're ghoulified, do they live infinitely or just a very long time?
It's always been said for a very long time. And,
Yeah,
that's nice and vague, so they can make up the rules as they go along.
Yeah. Good call.
Yeah, because you got what's his name? Nick Valentine's guy, who's like the original ghoul. Yeah, there's a quest for him.
Right.
Anyway, whatever. Yeah, there's the guy, Nick Valentine's companion quest. You find this guy who is supposedly the original ghoul, and he ghoulified himself on purpose.
Right.
Is again, spoiler alert for that.
How'd he expose himself?
I think I want to say like he had access to some vault technology or something. Like he had inside information about sort of like how you ghoulify yourself, and he
Deliberate Winters.
Yeah.
I keep wanting to say Edgar Winters.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not an albino, nor does he play the guitar, but he's got a big gun. So that guy is. And if you do that quest line with Nick, you kind of get an explanation. It's pretty clear. I've only done it once because it's a fun quest, but it's kind of Baron Zaya Stone like. I think it's a lot more like the Baron Zaya Stones than the Star Cores, because those 10 tapes are all over the effing place.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
All you know is
places.
Yeah, all you know is they're in police stations. That's all you know.
Station ones, yeah.
Yeah, and
it's fun though. It's a fun quest.
Yeah, and there's a clue to the next one whenever you find one.
That's right. Yeah, and there's a couple places where if you read terminals, you'll find like 2 locations.
Yeah,
it'll say this one's in number 8 is in East Boston and number 6 is in Nahant or whatever.
I think even with all the help from the terminals, I still had to look up a couple of locations.
Yeah, I did too. I think I got maybe 6, maybe 7 by myself, and had to look up the last couple.
Yeah, just all over the police station.
But that's especially if you like Nick, and Nick's a pretty, he's as companions go, he's pretty good.
Did you notice that at one of the police stations, there is they refer to a Sheriff Taylor?
No, that's too funny.
I think it might be at Nant, if I'm not mistaken.
Nahant.
Nahant, is that how it's pronounced? I always wondered.
Nahant. Okay, well, I found Kane, but I don't know how you get up to where he is.
You have to that catwalk is a little tricky, and then you have to jump over the gap.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you how to get up there, but you kind of have to snake around those corridors and the ration stockpile, and then you get to across the gap, and it's jumpable.
That is one of Fallout's favorite things to do, is to show you the end destination.
Yep.
Where it's right there. It's just right there.
Yeah.
That wall. All you got to do is wind around 50,000 feet.
And sometimes if you're smart enough to bring power armor with a jetpack, you can get there right away.
Oh, I've never. That is one aspect of the game I've never experienced.
It's fun. You should definitely do it. Yeah, you have to have armor 4 and science 4, so it's a lot of points. But it's definitely fun walking around with a jetpack.
Yeah, I bet.
It makes it it makes it easy to jump. You guys know. There's so many places where if you take the access stairs all the way to the roof, you'll find a fusion core or something. And it just makes all that kind of stuff easy. And of course, you can jump down because you're in power armor, right? So you can jump down from any height. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I definitely recommend.
When it's stuck at the top of the tower. That's a fun drop.
I like to jump off the mass fusion tower and land in Good Neighbor. That's fun too.
The Pridwin is good.
Pridwin's a lot of fun.
I don't know. Top of the interstate, if you can fly up to the top of those interstates, just whatever. Yeah. So
the one monorail where you meet the Death Claw is another one that's fun to get up to.
So it's been too damn long since I've actually played the quest. I have to sorely admit. Ray, you mentioned that there's a gun that you get at the end. What is the quest reward for Radio Raiders?
So it's Zinks.
Oh,
shotgun.
Shotgun or something? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it nice, powerful at all? You've probably surpassed it.
Yeah, and I'm just looking through my inventory, and I don't still have it. So it was it was less than the kneecapper that I carry, so I got rid of it.
Nice.
Yeah. I have so many legendary weapons sitting in my workbench in Sanctuary because I usually don't bother to sell them because I get so many caps just from just normal cap collecting and everything else. I don't need to bother to sell the legendary weapons.
And I still have one level of cap collector that I could take, and I'm like, why bother?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I got 20,000 caps in my inventory. I mean, unless I want to go buy those. We mentioned them in a couple episodes ago. Those crazy expensive ones.
There's not good other than those. There's not good stuff to spend your money on. I mean, you can buy Throat Slicer and Overseer's Guardian, but
if you look at those pieces of armor, they don't even seem that beneficial anyhow.
They're like 15% bonus when attacking humans.
Yeah, like that's lame. That sucks. Yeah. So a gun, I'm assuming you get tons of experience points. Do you get any caps or anything like that for rescuing his brother? I don't even remember. How about killing his brother? Did he reward you with caps?
I think he does.
It's still the same reward whether you kill him or not.
Even though he told you, "Oh, wait a second, that was my brother. I didn't really want you to kill him. Oh, here's a couple caps anyhow." That's funny. Good for you.
It's the same quest reward, even if you kill him. I think
that's great. So Zinx's shotgun or something. Yeah. I remember that now.
Yeah.
What? Ray, did you mention what it does? What has been? Does it have a legendary perk or anything?
I am gonna have to look it up because I do not. I don't recall it being anything.
My Xbox turned on.
All that great.
Yeah, it wasn't like double shot or extra projectile or anything cool like that. So who knows? Yeah. So, Pat, did you have any closing thoughts on Radio Raiders?
No. I was gonna, and I misplay. I think Andrew, you called it. I should have just left and had him meet me. So I misread the dialogue. So I was just frustrated. I just killed Kane again. So I went back and Bobby gave the lecture. Oh, you're like a real animal or something, aren't you? And then he still gives you the same reward.
That's fun. Does he immediately then offer more work, or do you have to like leave for a while before you can move on?
No, I think it's immediate. I think it's pretty immediate. Well, I think you go meet, because there's the room where you first meet him, and you go back in the other room, and there's a boxing ring with a merchant and get some other crap,
bar and stuff.
Yeah. I think you pretty much can get like a good neighbor immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And he does that. He pulls a Hancock on that girl that was.
Yeah.
But he walks in and kills someone?
Yeah, stabs her. Says she's worthless now.
For what? I don't even remember this interaction. What?
But I don't think they even really say.
You're worthless. I'm going to kill you. All right.
Yeah.
I think there was some sort of fight going on. I assume they're all gambling at this location at the bar, and there's a couple of people just sort of boxing. It didn't look like they were trying to kill each other. Are they actually trying to kill each other in that fighting ring?
But I think so, because there's all kinds of dead people piled in a cell just on the other side of the ring.
Oh yeah.
Now I took all those corpses to be like people they had robbed or whatever, rather than people. I took them to just people. I don't know. I wasn't paying that close of attention. Maybe I missed it.
No.
Yeah. But there's a boxing ring or whatever. Yeah. There's some kind of fighting, whether it's fatal or not. Yeah.
Up in those cells you guys were just referring to, one of my favorite items in the game. I know that people, sort of roll their eyes when Shalene and Andrew go on their fancy hats, or fancy hat escapades and rants, because we both really like fanciful clothing and this is one of my favorite articles you get from this quest. and it's not even in the base game. But I love it so much. And
The ghoul mask.
oh god, it's so great. How is this not the coolest thing in the game ever?
So, except for the fact that it looks a lot like the sack with, the sack hood, just without the hoses.
Oh, come on. But it does look like ghoul skin a little bit more than the sack hood, at least. And my favorite thing is I put it on Piper and dismissed her back home. So now she's walking around Diamond City with a ghoul mask on, which I think is just hilarious.
Oh, it might be funnier to put a synth helmet on her.
Oh, I have a field synth helmet is the one that covers the face. I put that on Nick, which I was always under the impression that you couldn't interact with Nick's clothing. I thought that his hat and coat you couldn't take or give him anything, but it must be the clothing overhaul mod that I have that's letting me do that.
Yeah, I think in vanilla you can't. You're right. You can't interact with Nick.
But I've got my I call it my Destro helmet because it's bright shiny silver, and I put it on Nick, and he's got his his awesome patchwork trench coat and just the silver helmet. He looks really cool.
Nice.
So I'm starting to deck everybody out in really fun attire. I've just got Kate. I just took her to Vault. I'm blanking on the number. It's not 75, is it? 88? I don't remember. Whatever vault you have to take her to get her decontaminated.
95.
I think it's 95.
Vault 97, right? It's the West Vault radio one, right?
Oh,
Yeah, no. West Vault 97 is not canon. It's
It's 95, I believe.
Yeah.
I'm making a joke, you guys. Come on.
It's a funny.
I don't remember. Yeah, 95 maybe. That sounds right. So I just took Kate there, and we just got done decontaminating her. So I'm waiting, and I thought that would be enough for her to start, liking me. But I guess there's more to her quest I need to get into. It's been a long time since
you have to get her max affinity and then take her on the quest. I think. Take her to Vault 95.
Yeah. Well, we've already done the Vault 95 part, and she's still just
Oh, she doesn't love you?
No, she's still things are going great, and I'm glad that we're traveling together.
I did not have that experience with her. I've only done it once. I typically, for the companion stuff, I typically just do it once and then don't bother with them because companions are the worst, as clearly documented.
Yeah. You must be really nice all the time because you should be able to max her affinity out after doing that quest pretty quickly.
I just
if you keep doing mean, nasty things.
And lockpicking, she really likes that.
Yeah, well, what I did for her was I just took a shit ton of chems because before you do that quest, she likes chems, and then after that she hates chems.
Yeah.
So I think what I did was took a shit ton of chems, and she got in that before, and then I did the quest with her.
Or fast travel naked.
That's Hancock. Does she like that too?
I think
Hancock does. Hancock likes naked. Yeah, I didn't realize Kate did.
So
that's how I maxed out my Hancock affinity really fast. I just did everything in my settlements naked.
Yeah. So it looks like the significance of Zinc's shotgun is that Zinc's is a mod that Chris did for Fallout 3.
Oh, cool.
And she was the main character.
So one of his companions? Companion mods?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice.
I like the continued story. There's a person I'm supposedly going to run into here in Fallout 3. I just put in Fallout 3, you guys. I haven't ever played Fallout 3 before, but I'm about, 8 to 10 hours deep into Fallout 3 right now. And evidently there's a character I'm going to run into in Fallout 3 who we also run into in Nuka World, which I think, wow, that's really fun how they connect up. And I know they did, McCready was the mayor of Little Lamplight.
Yep.
And that sort of stuff, but I just think that's really fun.
There's a much bigger, more mainline Fallout 4 reference in Fallout 3, which I don't want to spoil for you because it's actually really cool. But it's much, the Nuka World Girl and McCready are more just kind of one-offs, but then there's actually something that's actually a pretty significant side quest that you'll get to. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's very, very directly. It'll resonate immediately with you as soon as you start hearing what's going on with it.
Oh, nice. I've heard there's like a mention of the Institute and stuff and Fallout.
Yeah. That's you'll run in. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, don't. That one is worth. If you haven't been spoiled, that one is worth. Finding out on your own, because it's a good quest even without the Fallout 4 reference, but with the Fallout 4 reference, it's even better.
I haven't even really read into. I haven't looked at any stuff up yet, really, or anything. I've just stumbled upon everything, just kind of following quest markers at this point. I did go up and get dog meat, who is a totally different breed. He's like an Australian sheepdog or something like that in Fallout 3. He's not a German Shepherd, which I thought was totally strange. It's funny, but yeah. So Fallout 3's been pretty fun. But sorry. Anyway, another tangent. We're starting back into Like a Good Neighbor. You ask Bobby for more work, and we can get into the quest. You walk back into the room. Does Bobby follow back into the bar, and then you follow him back in, and that's where you get more work from him?
I don't remember if you have to do it in a particular. Yeah, because there's two rooms. There's the bar, and there's that front area or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't remember. Yeah. He gives you. So this is for me. So this is where so Bobby tells you to go get. I think there's two pieces, right? There's the you have to do two holdups.
Yes.
And I think he gives you both at once, right?
What does he want you to do? He wants you to go shake down two people, in particular, who've stiffed him on. One of them is drugs, I think, and no, wait, they're both drugs, right?
Yeah, he needs to re-up his drug supply.
Okay, so he's out on drugs. These guys haven't stiffed him. He just knows that they're drug suppliers that can be robbed for their supply.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so so he tells you to get the ghoul mask and a Diamond City Guard uniform.
So there's this ghoul mask up there, right? Why? I don't understand. It's just is a person wearing a ghoul mask, or are you slicing the face off of a ghoul up there? What I didn't understand what was happening up there. Are you popping out your Bowie knife and
could
Hannibal Lecter?
Interpret it that way, I think, if you wanted to, if you were kind of a creep, and like leather face kind of thing going on there, you could think of it that way.
Did Lecter do that too? I don't remember.
He did. That's how he escaped from the police, from the guard, and that's how he got out of his jail cell. He pulled off the policeman's mask and put his face and put his clothes on.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
So after you slice a face off of a ghoul,
if that's how you want to play it, you go right ahead. Yeah. So for me, it bugged because I searched those cells or at least one of the cells immediately and grabbed the ghoul mask and already had it in my inventory when Bobby gave me the quest, and so it didn't. I went to Diamond City, got the guard uniform. I got it off one of the guards that got killed by a super mutant.
Nice.
Between Heyman's Alley and Diamond City, there's usually a dead guard there, and I grabbed that guard's uniform and I stuck up Solomon, so that worked. But then it didn't advance it would never acknowledge that I had the ghoul mask. And I think it was maybe bugged because I got the ghoul mask before I got the quest.
Because you picked it up before.
Yeah, did any of you guys have that happen to you, that the quest didn't acknowledge that you had the ghoul mask?
No.
No, but after watching a couple of modding videos, I can see how that would happen, because you would have to program it to go in and look for that in the inventory. Where, otherwise it just expects that you wouldn't have already picked it up, that you would pick it up when you were instructed to.
Right.
You said there were multiple ghoul masks. Did you pick them both up before?
Well, I did. So I found the one. It was, and I didn't realize it was bugged. I had it in my inventory. I did the quest. It didn't work. I went back. I turned in the Solomon piece to Bobby, and then I went back and said, "Well, I'm gonna." So I said, "Well, I'm gonna go back and see if I can, if the ghoul mask is still there, I'd pick it up again." But it wasn't there. But then there's another ghoul mask in the other. There's actually two ghoul. I want to say maybe one of them is. It's got a modifier. One of them is just ghoul mask. And one of them is like the blank ghoul mask. I don't know if Ray or Lee, do you guys remember? There's two.
I just saw the one.
And one.
There's two, and maybe it's even random. Who knows? But both of for me both of the cells had a ghoul mask. But even when I went and got the second one, it didn't trigger, which is actually not that different from what I was talking about on that bobblehead mod, where if you had the bobblehead first, it would never clear the quest. So it's kind of the same thing that if you don't do that quest before you start picking up bobbleheads, it's always going to be bugged on. So I think it's what Ray's saying, that there's kind of it's just really tricky to build a mod that's as smart as the base game about stuff like that.
There's an order of operations to everything there.
Yeah.
No, you've got that backwards. It's hard to build a mod that's as dumb as some players.
I pride myself in being among the dumbest Fallout players, Lee. Come on, give me credit.
Yeah.
So you could try going back, putting it back in the inventory, and then picking it up again.
I did that thing, and it did. And maybe there's something I could have tried that I didn't do, but I tried different. I did not restart because I picked it up like I forget. I just didn't have the patience to restart. I probably could have tried that. Just restart back to before I picked up anything from him. But
I wonder if it was as simple as just dropping it on the ground and then picking it back up.
Tried that. Tried all those things. Yeah.
Dropping it and storing it in something else's inventory.
Yeah. All the above, and it just would not. It would not re-click. I think it's what Ray was saying, is that it just sort of once it's there, it's kind of tainted. At least that's the way it works. Did anybody? So I guess were you able to do both of the pieces, Solomon and who's the other person you stick up?
Oh gosh, what was his name?
Fred Allen.
At the Rexford, at Hotel Rexford.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is the guy in Good Neighbor at the Hotel Rexford. That one, you put the ghoul mask on to stick up Fred. And what was there any particular reason why he was the one you had to put a ghoul mask on for? Is he like
Good Neighbor?
Is this? I was gonna say it's like a Hancock sympathizer like type.
Yeah, there's ghouls all over the place there.
Yeah, a lot of those triggermen are ghouls. The triggermen that you kill on the one side quest.
I mean, it's a sort of a sanctuary for ghouls over there.
Yeah, exactly.
But Fred is not a ghoul.
Correct.
Nope.
He's always getting in an argument with that lady behind the desk over there at the hotel.
Don't be taking those chems. Get to work.
So he is sort of a secret drug dealer on the side, I guess. Every good hotel needs someone.
He needs a pimp and a drug dealer.
Yes, exactly.
I have no knowledge of this.
You don't travel enough, Lee, clearly.
Ray, what sort of interaction did you have with Fred Allen? Are there any particulars to the conversation?
They both roll over pretty easily.
Do you walk in with the mask on, or do you pop it on after you walk into the door? What are you doing?
I walked in with it on.
Yeah, that's probably the smart thing to do. I did that as well. So what kind of, does he just give you like a big stash of drugs?
It's not all that much. It's only it's a little bit of drugs and 100 caps or so.
Is it for Solomon? It's like a single item that says like Solomon's drug stash or something, right?
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. You're right.
And I think for me, I think it didn't clear. Like I was able to stick up Solomon as the Diamond City Guard, but because the quest was bug, it didn't, like Bobby didn't take that item from me.
Yeah. The one thing I was very surprised at is that after you stick these people up, they don't seem to care afterwards.
Yeah.
I stuck around because when I stuck up Solomon, he wasn't in his like shop or whatever. He had walked over to the dugout inn. He was actually sitting across from there's another mod. I think he's from a mod. I can't tell anymore because I've had Tales loaded so long. I'm starting to not be able to tell which characters are from Tales and which are from the base game. But I think there's another character who sits at that bench, that sort of picnic table right out in front of the dugout inn.
Oh yeah.
And he was sitting across from that guy, and I just like sort of strolled up to him, sidled up, be like, "All right, buddy."
Well, there's both. There's a guy. This is my one beef against the Tales of the Commonwealth. The NPCs are too talkative, and I think there's a guy. There's two guys. Like there's a vanilla guy who wears the same Letterman jacket that Travis wears, and there's a Tales added guy who wears that same jacket. They look different, but they're wearing the same clothes.
Yeah,
and there's one of each. Yeah, and they both sit out there outside the dugout inn.
It's funny. I had Travis with me, of course, and
it's all Lettermans. Letterman's all the way down.
They're like, "Yeah, you class of 2077 as well." Yeah, me too. Or no, they would be much later than that. Oh,
yeah.
So, Ray, how did you get your hands on a Diamond City security guard uniform?
So I had every intention of just straight up killing a guard. But as I got close to Diamond City, I found one who had been killed by the super mutants.
Oh, nice. Like just like Pat had made.
Yeah.
I could not find one. I was walking all over the place hoping to just stumble across one like you guys were saying, but I didn't head towards Hangman's Alley. I should have headed that direction. I was just sort of like circling around the building, the whole city square there.
Yeah, there's a guy that patrols the empty street as you're coming up the hill from Hangman's Alley. Just as you get to the stadium, if you hang a left, there's a guard that patrols up and down that street. And,
alone,
you
can duck something and
but
snipe them from.
Right when we got to that corner, there was a guy laying dead in the street. So it's like, all right, fine.
Yeah, all right.
And sometimes those dogs in the junkyard around the other side will kill a guard too.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can find dead guards really kind of all over. The super mutants are the ones that I see most commonly. That's what I grab. But you can find dead guards kind of scattered around Diamond City.
I feel like I was running around the town for like a good 40 minutes.
Really? Wow.
A stupid dead body. What I ended up having to do was find there was some mongrels that were off in one direction, some like raiders in a different direction, and super mutants in the other direction. I had this one guard who I kept, if I would kite like a couple of mongrels with me back to his section, that he would start fighting these things. And then like I was like, oh great, there's the albino mongrel, that'll certainly kill this guard. And then the guard would like get almost down as far as I could tell, but he would end up killing all the things that would kite back to him. And then I ended up kiting a raider. I got a raider to follow me back for a little while, and like the raider, he even killed the raider. It was just super frustrating. I'm like, will you please just die?
Well, the guards will take. Sometimes you'll see them taking chems. I remember like they'll take jet, and the guards. Wow. Yeah. The guards will sometimes use chems, and if you run to Diamond City and get there early, I mean they'll have a skull. I mean they're reasonably tough, for NPCs. So it depends on like I think they would take out regular super mutants or mongrels. Now if they get up against super mutant butchers or whatever, they'll usually one of them will die.
The and it's not just Diamond City uniform, Diamond City Guard uniform. I didn't know which pieces of the clothing you actually needed to have. there's a helmet which is basically the catcher's mask, right?
Yeah.
And the armor, which also has the catcher's chest pad, but you also have your left and right arm and your left and right leg. But there is, I think mine was listed as active wear or something.
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
that's it. Yeah.
It's not labeled as Diamond City Guard uniform. So I was curious, which actual pieces do you need? Just the 5 armor pieces? Do you need the underneath piece? Do you need everything all together? So I didn't even really test it out or anything or play around with it. I was just kind of
I put it all on, so I didn't test. But that's a good point. It is a bunch of pieces.
Yeah. So I ended up getting him killed eventually, where I didn't even think about it. There weren't any other guards around. I probably just could have killed him and not gotten much of a reaction, right? Like, do you have to be crouched even when like no one else is around? Like, you can just kill him, right? Without getting,
as long as nobody else sees you.
Yeah, I think that's right.
This guy was kind of off on his own. It might have been the guy you were talking about, right? Just like the single.
Yeah, I run into him all the time coming back from the lot. Like if you go back to Diamond City from Good Neighbor or from Trinity Tower or the library, you pass right by that guy. I see him all the time. And that's the area where the Raiders are like kind of to the southwest. The super mutants are kind of the southeast. The dogs are around the north. Speaking of dogs, kind of every each side of Diamond City has like its own little bunch of people.
Nice. So we shake down these guys for their drugs and money. Solomon in DC, I just thought it was funny how I just kind of hung around him and he was just like had his normal reactions with me immediately after.
Yeah, because you were in disguise. He didn't recognize you.
Total great disguise. I put a catcher's mask on. Didn't recognize.
Well, both those guys are a little bit kind of addled, right? So I don't know that they're all there.
I was going all over the place trying to find the guard uniform. I even went down to the jail and like looked around at lockers and stuff.
Oh wow,
like,
yeah, good call. Yeah.
They're not just sitting around anywhere that I know of. And I looked in the inventory of all the shops. No one was selling like guard uniforms or anything like that. So you actually do have to. It seems like you do have to either find a dead guard or kill one to get that. But the Feral Ghoul mask is real simple. Just take one off of the dead bodies in the cells there. And when you bring back the big stashes, and what does Bobby give you? What does Bobby say to you?
Good work.
Are you now his main drug pusher guy? I don't even know what the terminology is. You're his kingpin of bad guyness.
Bobby would be the kingpin. You'd be his minion. I think. Wouldn't you be a minion?
Only if you're yellow.
Oh.
So that for me, that I couldn't get anything to progress because I was bugged out because of the stupid ghoul mask.
But you did the DC guard one down.
Well, I did, but I had Solomon's stash in my inventory, but Bobby wouldn't take it from me.
You have to have both of them in order for.
At least in my case, I don't know what it was. For whatever reason, I stuck up Solomon, and that's all I could do. So I saw, and that just drives the shit out of me because I have that quest in my inventory, and it will never go away because it'll never be able to complete it.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it's just it's my gamer OCD kicking in. I want to clear my quest. I don't want that in my quest log anymore. I want it to be gone.
I don't recall exactly what the rewards were, but someone keeps handing me drugs when I'm in that room. Is that Bobby giving me drugs every once in a while, or is that like Bad X wandering around like slipping a Mickey into my pocket?
Isn't it Dutch, the trader, that does that?
Maybe it is, because every once in a while, just the indicator like Psychojet added or something.
That would be more natural because I don't think Bad X does anything productive. He just kind of like talks stuff.
Yeah, Kyle, come on.
He's Kyle. Yeah, really. Have Takahashi write you better dialogue. Jeez, come on.
We need to make note of which characters Kyle Brennan in the Facebook group is a voice actor who did a couple of voices for different characters in Tales from the Commonwealth. Bad X is the only one that I definitely am 100% sure that I know that he did. I know that he did at least 2 more. I think there was some sort of
there's a
whaler.
Whalers on a boat. Yeah. And I want to say there was remember Andrew, we had him on the show. Like it's been been quite a while now, but we had him on the show, and I want to say did he talk about like not being able to find one? It may not have been this mod, but I want to say he talked about looking for one of his characters and not being able to find the character.
He still couldn't find one of his characters yet.
Yeah.
And I think that he didn't want Chris to tell him. Like I think he wanted to stumble.
Yeah, I think it's right. Yeah.
So I'm curious if he if he had to crack and say, "Hey, tell me where it is," or if he actually stumbled upon it.
Yeah,
it's fun to hear about that.
Yeah, I think Kyle's still on the Facebook group, and I know I see him on Twitter every now and then. I think he's I forget what he's been posting about on Twitter. I know he's posted a few times about other just games and things. I don't know if he's got any active. We'll have to check in with him, see if he's got any active new voiceover work or anything that he's got that we can pimp for him.
Yeah.
So he's in our quest log now. To go find out something from him.
Yeah. That's right, Kyle. Go find Kyle. Yeah. Pimp his voiceover appearances.
Yeah, and we can just take this opportunity to briefly mention Victor and Kyle have been working together on ASA mod talk, and Victor's been steering the ship the last few episodes, but that's really cool that they have got a very in-depth show about mods and how everything interacts there. So everyone, please go check out ASA Mod Talk. It is available in iTunes and all your podcatchers there. So
yeah, some good stuff. I think Victor's a little. I think he had a couple like more in-depth episodes, a couple like more kind of quickie episodes. So it's good stuff. Victor's a really experienced modder. He's got some good tips, and I definitely am between talking to Victor and sort of pumping his brain and watching a few Gopher videos. That was the other thing. The Gopher's got on the Gopher. I think it's just Gopher. I don't think there's any other qualifier or anything. On YouTube has some good mods about modding both Skyrim and Fallout 4. His Skyrim videos are more about legacy, but a lot of the stuff still applies. I actually found it really useful to kind of understand like the basics of modding. So if anybody's just getting into modding, highly recommend those Gopher videos for just a really good solid intro into what modding is all about and how to manage your load order and things like that. So it's really good instructional stuff from Gopher over on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, check it out.
Just so that I can clear my quest log.
Yeah.
Kyle is the auctioneer in full exposure.
Oh, the auctioneer. Yes, I do remember him mentioning the auctioneer now.
And, of course, Bad X.
Mm-hmm.
And...
Are you on 3dnpc.com looking up his credits or something?
Nexus. I'm on the Nexus. He's got everybody listed in the mod description.
That's nice.
The Ghoul Whale Hunter.
Okay.
That's over near Nahant, I think.
Yeah.
Nahant.
Nurse Nanny.
Nahant. Nurse Nanny
in the robot medical clinic.
I was going to ask, is that a Mr. Handy style robot or something? Cool. That's great.
And that looks like about it.
Hopefully, we'll run into these organically through the quest log.
Yeah, hope so.
Closing up like a good neighbor, any final thoughts? Returning to Bobby, giving him the stashes, giving him drugs that he can then go out and sell. Probably gives you some caps and experience, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and then it just opens up the next set of quests.
Is it the robot? The rocking...
Rock'em Sock'em Robots, right?
Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah, I believe that is one of the quests we'll begin.
Yeah, actually, maybe that's a good point. Let me pull that up. I had it open earlier and managed to close it. I was gonna, maybe that's a good point to remind listeners what we are going to do next time. Because I want to say episode 3 maybe has a fairly full list of.
We've got 2 sections of the park we're going through, and 3 quests of Tales, I believe. I don't know who wrote this damn schedule, but they're
next session is pretty brutal. It's pretty full. We got session 3 has Rock'em Sock'em Robots from Tales. You've Got Mail from Tales, starring Tom Hanks, Meg Ryan. Jet Fueled from Tales.
Jet Fueled. Yeah.
So we got 3 from Tales: Rock'em Sock'em Robots, You Got Mail, and Jet Fueled. And then we have from the Grand Tour quest, which encompasses cleaning out Nuka World. We have a Magical Kingdom, and we have a World of Refreshment. And Magical Kingdom, if I remember right, that is that's the one with all the painted ghouls, right? That one's tough.
Yeah, it's this Oswald, right?
Yeah, that one. I mean, it's fun. No, don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining, but it is tough. Nuka World, the World of Refreshment, that's cleaning out the Nuka World. It is fine. I didn't find it to be quite as tough as the painted ghoul. So those hope won't say any more. We'll let it kind of play out over the next couple of episodes. But I'll be really interested to see how people's experiences go in a Magical Kingdom.
I don't know if you guys are just better at fighting certain enemies than I am, but I found the Nuka Lurks in a World of Refreshment just near damn impossible last time I played.
What are you fighting him with?
And now I'm on survival mode this time. I don't even know what I'm gonna.
What weapon are you using though?
Well, right now, the last week and a half or so, I've been straight power fist. I've been fisting people all over the Commonwealth.
Oh, well, that's rather personal, but you might not want to get that close to Mirelurks. You've got riflemen, right?
Yeah, I've got the kiloton rifle.
I think Nuka Lurk. I mean, because like the Mirelurks, when you to me, for my style with Mirelurks is they're perfect VATS targets because you wait till they turn their tender underbelly to you and you get a good VATS chance, and they're quite vulnerable. If you try to shoot through their shell, unless you got the penetrator perk, you're boned.
Yep.
So that's what I do for me. That's why I think a good ballistic weapon, and again for me, I have much better luck with Mirelurks using VATS, and same thing with Nuka Lurks.
Yeah, I pretty much solely use VATS. I've found actually when I'm using just the power fist, running around, just punching stuff is like, AKA from the hip or whatever.
Yeah.
It's actually really fun. Like, I don't use VATS much with the power fist, but like if I'm using a gun, if I have AP to spare, it is being used right now.
Yeah.
VATS, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The time the 2 times I don't use VATS with ballistic weapons are if I'm sneaking up on somebody and I've got the drop on them and I can get them with the sight or with the scope, because that won't use my AP. So I'll sometimes, if I'm going up on a group of enemies, I'll try to take out the first 1 or 2, without using AP and without using VATS, and then I'll conserve my AP for the fight once they figured out I'm there. And then what was the other? The other time I don't use VATS is when I go Psycho Jet. When I pop a Psycho Jet, I just like I always use the deliverer for that, and I just like to empty the clip into whatever I'm shooting as fast as possible.
The VATS doesn't eliminate whatever perks chems give you, though, right?
No, but you kind of not waste, but you can fire. You're moving so fast with Jet or Psycho Jet, and VATS kind of it doesn't cancel it exactly, but you don't get you can empty your clips so fast when you're on Jet or Psycho Jet, but if you use VATS while you're on Jet or Psycho Jet, it actually slows you down.
Yeah, it takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah, you're basically just like a madman, when you're on Jet or Psycho Jet.
Oh, it's Good stuff.
Yeah,
The only time I ever use VATS is when I'm using melee, because that way you don't get blocked.
And you have to use VATS with Blitz.
Yeah.
And Ray, I don't know if you're a Blitz melee
Right,
guy.
'cause that's how you
Big
target.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you target blitz.
Yeah, right. You have to, yeah.
Yeah, there wouldn't be a way to use Blitz without VATS.
Correct. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's
I
the thing
didn't-
with Blitz too. You can do it from so far away. And don't forget, you can combine Blitz will stack with Rooted if you really want to be broken.
Mm.
The game doesn't treat you as moving.
Wow.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you go in for the attack, you stop at the target to swing at him, and so Rooted kicks in at that point.
Yeah.
They're
And the animation for Blitz is really funny because sometimes the game like doesn't know how to get you there, and so like you'll do your Blitz attack from like 20 feet away.
I love those.
You're attacking.
Yeah, it's pretty comical. Yeah.
Blitz teleport hit.
Yeah, exactly.
You're punching the air, and they're taking the punch.
Yeah. Or you're
Yeah,
swinging.
if you get a good piece of cover between you and the target, it won't route you around it. It'll just you'll swing, and then they die.
Yeah. And same thing. Like sometimes, like if they're like a little bit above you, like it's something you could jump. Like you can reach them, but like the game, like you said, doesn't know how to get you there. Like they'll be like on a ledge above you or something. You'll do the same thing.
Oh man.
Yeah,
but they can't
Blitz
be too
is
far
so
above
fun.
you. They can't be too far above you, otherwise it won't.
Yeah, that's right. It's only a little like a turret. Like if it's a lower down turret, sometimes you can blitz it. Other times not. It can't be too high.
I remember you mentioning this in the past, Pat, how if you're doing an unarmed or melee build, you have to have some way of dealing with turrets. And that had always just kind of gone in one ear and out the other because I never really played melee or build only. But now that I'm running around with a power fist, it seems like they're only shoulder height and they're too high. You know what I mean? Like,
it can be tricky. Yeah.
It's like you're letting me reach like 12 feet in a horizontal axis, but as soon as it's anywhere above, my head, it seems like I can't reach these turrets. But you're right; it is super annoying.
I mean,
turrets. If you're
it's turrets, so they're stationary. And you can so you don't necessarily need to have gunslinger or rifleman or anything. You just need to have either a ballistic weapon or some grenades.
Yeah.
Or even like whatever. You need some gun or grenades, and you don't necessarily have to be really good with them because just your basic gunfire will take them out.
I like to tell my follower to attack it too.
Followers.
I know you don't like it. But, I'd like to just tell Kate, "Hey, Kate, shoot that turret."
That works. But that to me is an extra step though, because it's for me like the whole the follower. You click on the follower, you click on the thing, and half the time you misclick or they don't. Whatever. It's just too much of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's much quicker just to do it yourself, and you don't get in your own way.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, sorry, I was making some assumptions.
Sneaking over there, and I trip and fall and break my own nose on the ground. Just
it's a gift.
Can't get that turret fast enough. Yeah. So hey, Pat, I know that you're fairly new to Skyrim. Ray, were you playing Skyrim before?
No. Roundtable was my first Skyrimming experience.
Ray,
and I jumped on it. I think it was August when the deal came out
or whatever. Yeah. And Lee, too.
Yeah, that was my first
Just-
Skyrim, but I don't know. I just couldn't get into it for some reason.
Well, it's that fantasy mumbo jumbo.
I'm about 25 characters in now.
Nice.
Oh wow! Holy cow! Ray, you might be aware of this by now. Then I don't know if they fixed this for the special edition or not, but it used to be that you could wear a circlet and a Falmer helmet at the same time, therefore doubling whatever head enchantment that you had. And I have found that the faded visor in Fallout 4 can also be worn with the battered fedora for some reason.
Nice. Even in vanilla?
I don't know if this is caused by a UCO or not, a unified clothing overhaul. It has to be, right? But I just found that there's for some reason, the faded visor has a like an invisible slot or something. So
exactly how does somebody discover that?
I was just like changing hats and I realized, oh wait, my character's literally wearing two hats. I was looking at it and it's like it's got the full brim hat with the visor sitting on the brim. It's really silly looking, but so it lets you stack your head. And they're not called enchantments in Fallout, but you know what I'm talking about. The
legendary effects.
Yeah, you can have two. Well, I don't have legendary effects on it, but I have like ballistic weave or something.
Ah.
You know what I mean? You can put ballistic weave and get double head safety or whatever. I just thought it was fun. It's kind of like the Falmer helmet in Skyrim. I'm getting double. You know how me? I just love finding those horrible little exploits in the game that let you. Other people call them cheats. I like to call them exploits, but yeah, I thought that was a fun little one to find.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lee, what have you been getting into? What are you said you were trying to catch up with some of these quests. What is your character getting into these days?
Yeah, well, while we've been talking, I was doing the first half of the radio distress call, where I went and found Kane and had to stand on the bridge thing, or the dirt just by the bridge thing, and dump a ton of stuff because I couldn't move fast. So I had to get unencumbered before I could jump so that I could make that jump.
Oh, man.
And then I went back to, of course, I can't hear it right now because I'm, it's in the room and I didn't want it to mess with the podcast. But I went back to Bobby and turned that in. And I noticed that in the ring, there were a couple of people fighting, but they must have had blitz or something, because they were like standing on opposite sides and taking swings at each other. It's kind of strange looking.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
And when I had gone back to fix my Belcher's Cave, I then went on to Nuka World again. Nice. And got that started with the by taking out the operators, the blacks, William and Mags Black or whatever it is.
Yeah, Mags and William. Or whatever.
Yeah. And I am a little ahead of the game because I kind of accidentally did the Magical Kingdom. I was looking around trying to find out where things were.
Yeah.
And happened into that, and so I played that through.
I stumbled into the safari portion accidentally, just wandering around the north side of Nuka World in the park. I thought that it was all enclosed by the exterior wall. Up on the very north side of the park, if you're just wandering back, you can sort of just randomly stumble into the safari zone. And I'm not going to remember his name. It's not Cheeto. What is the
Cito, right? Cito?
Is it Cito?
No, it's Cito.
Yeah, okay. I ran into him already, and I'm like, wait a second, I didn't even enter the park. How am I running into you already? And then I opened up my map, and I'm like, oh crap, I'm inside the safari zone somehow, and there are gator claws everywhere. Run,
yeah.
But I just thought that was crazy that I could stumble into that. I didn't.
I found out about all the stuff outside the immediate park. In my other run through that I sent in the audio for. And it turned out that when I did that one of the 4 people that you have to kill for open season was way out of the park over on the west side. And so I followed this road that went out at the south end out to the west and then north. And you end up eventually at the power plant, and there's a junkyard there too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it's part of Nuka World, but it's not part of the parks, because it's
Yeah,
more like
yeah.
the support organization for the parks, way out there.
A support organization.
Hmm?
I said a support organization.
Yeah,
A remote organization. Yeah.
yeah. There's supposed to be a
you also-
reactor in the park.
Did you also run into the, what are they called? The hubologists?
Hubologists, yeah. 'Cause
Hubologists?
So-and-so Hub. Hub was the last name.
Hub. I run into them. I've also gotten the, if you do our portion and you go kill all the raiders, Lee, I believe you can get early access to the Nuka World Red Rocket filling station as a settlement. I don't think you have to wait until you get power back on to the whole.
Is that part of where the hubologists are?
No, I don't think so. They're both to the excuse me, to the west. The hubologists, I think, are sort of the southwest, and the PowerPoint is more sort of west or northwest. And then the hubologists take you; they have their place, and they take you to another location where you do their quest line.
And the Red Rocket filling station is to the northeast of the park.
Yeah.
South of it's right near the Bradberton town. Like there's that little town with all the houses and shops and the big church. I wish you could get into that church. Can you? I've wandered around the outside of that damn thing like 12 times trying to figure out if there's like a trap door or a storm cellar or a way to hop into there. It looks like a building I should be able to interact with, but I can't find a way in. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of buildings in there. I'm like, I feel like I should be able to get into here and do something, but you can't really interact with a lot of the buildings up in Bradberton, right?
I don't remember having any particular interactions up there, but I didn't find the Nuka World Red Rocket for the longest time. Because I went into Nuka World blind. I didn't read any spoilers or wiki pages or anything, and so I literally played most of Nuka World thinking there were no settlements at all.
Yeah,
but I didn't do open season until the very end anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to use it regardless.
Yeah. So there you go. If you need a settlement right there in Nuka World, have I explained my latest the new twist in my horrible bug that's slowly destroying Susan?
But now you can't keep anything in your own inventory.
Oh God, that'd be the worst. But I assume that's going to happen any day now. When I go into build mode, the structures tab is no longer in my build mode menu. I can't build, the wood, steel, or concrete structures anymore. I can still do like power generators and like stuff around. I can do all the other categories still, but I cannot build anything from the structures tab. And I was shuffling on through the main quest just because I haven't done that in a very long time, and I was having a very good, entertaining time with the main quest. I was like, well, this is really fun. I got to the point where Virgil told me to go get information on how to build the zap you into the Institute thing, and so I went with Sturgis, and we went up, and I have instructions on how to build the thing, and I don't know if it's giving them to me out of order or something, because it's letting me build what I think is the second piece, not the base, and not build I don't know. I have to be building them out of order or something, because
you don't have to build those in order. I don't think. I think you.
But it's not accepting that I have built it. It's telling me I need to build the same thing that I'm.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm like, man, what the fuck? So
I think you just need to just destroy Susan. I think all robots must rebel and destroy Susan. She's clearly ruining the wasteland for everybody.
The whole half of the game that is settlement building and settlers and attracting that sort of thing and doing the farming, that whole aspect of the game is now gone to this character. Like, that doesn't really exist anymore. I've set up the game so that survival mode is tolerable, where I don't have to need to drink water all the time. I can still get water from my pump and stuff, but I lessened the frequency because if I was ever, as soon as I got to a location, I'd be immediately, thirsty, and you'd have to waste all your water. And you're like, well, shit, now my inventory is empty of water. I go into this place halfway through, and then I'm super thirsty again just by walking into the door. You're like, holy crap, this is way too frequent that you needed to drink water. So I toned down a lot of the survival mode necessities just to make the character playable still, because otherwise, without the ability to produce purified water, it's a real fucking pain in the neck to have to drink water all the damn time.
Yeah.
I think you settlers are just jealous of your companions.
I set up that's like very well could be. I set up a recruitment beacon at Nuka World just to see if by some hope, some ray from God down that will shine upon me, and like for some reason Nuka World will be different and not the bug won't carry over. Well, I'm crossing my fingers. We'll see next time I go back. I haven't been back yet to check it out to see if anybody will show up, but somehow I doubt they will. I think this bug is slowly tearing the character apart. Oh goodness!
But now you can still build furniture and stuff, right?
Yeah, I can build furniture. I can build pretty much
try to build
the structures.
Well, you could build drunk walls the hard way.
Yeah, if you can build a sink, it'll let you fill bottles there.
Oh, okay.
Well, but you can build a pump, right? I mean, your resources tab isn't gone.
No, I have a powered pump, but those.
Right, but it doesn't
No,
put any.
Powered. You need a hand pump. You need the hand pump.
Those aren't producing water anymore.
Oh, geez.
So
what I would do at this point, and I had this happen on a not my roundtable character, but a PC mod character I was doing. I had the same bug, and the survival options just lets you add. What I was doing is I was just saying, well, look, I've got all the hardware built to add water. It's just the game is fucked up and won't let me add it. So I just manually added water to myself. That'd be the other way to play it. Rather than just use the survival options, or no, it's not survival. It's the cheat tape. There's a mod. It's on Xbox and PC both, and it's just like a hollow tape in your inventory that adds a cheat mod, and you can put on God mode and other stuff. And one of the things you can do is you can just give yourself items. So I had an issue where like a piece of power armor disappeared, and it's like, fuck, I'm not going to reload a game 10 levels back just to get this power armor back. So I just used the cheater mod to give myself that left leg X01 or whatever it was, and you can do the same thing with water or junk or whatever. So that's another way to play it. You could just give yourselves the one I use gives you 500. Like if you say, give me some lead, it adds 500 lead to your inventory, or 500 water or whatever. And that'd be the other way to play it. You could just give yourself 500 water, stick it in your workbench, and it's just like your stuff is producing water like it should.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad plan.
To me, it felt like you're fixing a bug in the game, as opposed to having to sort of change everything to work around the bug.
Yeah, that's a good call, and yeah, it's kind of like just mimicking like the it's still producing if I just put 500 water in. Yeah. I wish it didn't weigh so much. Damn it. Oh, the survival mode. It really makes me crazy.
Yeah.
Can you make all your followers carry your water?
Yeah, but they're already carrying my other stuff.
Oh. I see. The problem is stuff.
They're already weighed down with adhesive and empty oil cans. And speaking of which, what are the absolute most useful objects that you guys have to pick up junk wise every time you go out and about? Jeremy asked that in an email a couple episodes ago or last episode, and I totally spaced answering that question for him. What are your absolute go-to pieces of junk items that you have to pick up? My first one would probably be typewriters and desk fans and microscopes.
Yeah, those are among my three too. Even though I do an adhesive farm, I still pick up the duct tape and Wonder Glue.
Yeah,
crystal
especially
decanters,
military.
and aluminum.
cameras.
If you do anything with power armor at all, you need shit tons of aluminum.
What is crystal decanters for? I know that you need
Making
for
radio beacons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going to say the recruitment beacon needs crystal.
Yeah.
I can't remember other objects.
I want to say radiation arch needs fiber optics.
Okay.
Yeah, you get those from the microscopes.
Yeah. Microscope, telephone, typewriter, desk fan, crystal, cake pans, and cafeteria trays.
Like
cake
hot
pans
plates.
are big on aluminum.
Yeah.
Hot plates are good too.
Yeah.
Copper, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the beaker stands are lots of copper. They're like 5 copper in that little tiny beaker stand.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're really. I always thought they would just be like, oh, whatever. This is just like 2 steel, and actually look at it, and the beaker stands are lots of copper in there. So always pick up those little beaker stands if you see those. Yeah. I don't know. I just pick up everything.
I wonder if the beaker stands are really that way, and that it would be non-magnetic.
Oh, I wonder.
Don't know. Have to ask a chemist.
Don't ask me.
Okay, another kind of chemist.
Ask a real chemist. Oh man. So guys, we actually have. Do you want to? We don't have to get into it tonight if you don't want to. But we've got some King of the Bunker Hill we could listen to.
So my vote would be maybe let's do King of the Bunker Hill and then maybe wrap up, because for me personally, I find those to be a lot of fun.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great. So before we get into that, Lee or Ray, do you have any other gaming stuff that we've gotten into? What are you doing, other like side quest wise or everything? I've been in Far Harbor a little bit recently. When I rescued the Dalton farm. One of the final things is you have to like run back over there and clear out some like bad guys, and it was the most intense fucking scene I've ever seen in my life. There were bad guys there that I haven't even heard of or met yet on Far Harbor. There were ghoul Yaoguais that they were glowing ghoul Yaoguais. I hadn't met ghoul Yaoguais. I thought that Yaoguais are already ghoulified. You know what I mean? Like, but they were just like another step of Yaoguai that I guess are only on Far Harbor. And there were just like tons of waves of gulpers and the fog crawlers and everything. And I was just like, there were literally 20, if not 30 different, highly leveled, irradiated monsters coming my way on the beach. It was one of the more fun battles I had. And on survival mode, thank goodness that I could get a save in before wandering into that mess, because it's just dying over and over and over and over, getting hit from this way and hit from that way. And I really don't like that the Minutemen flare gun doesn't summon Minutemen on Far Harbor. That sucks. I wish that my artillery would work on Far Harbor. I don't know if it does yet because I don't have any settlements going. So,
I remember that. I remember that settlement having a really big battle after you'd been there for a while. In my first Far Harbor playthrough, quite a while ago now.
It's crazy that oh man, I'd never seen anything like it. It was like
you get a wave of all the creatures, and then you get a wave of the trappers.
Yeah, right. There's the lobster face guys kept coming at you, or not the lobster trap guys.
Right.
Yeah, it's such a stupid helmet. I love wearing it.
I like putting it on people I don't like.
Put it on Piper, let her run around in it. Actually, I like Piper a lot. Never mind. Put it on. Can you put Strong? No, you can only put like super mutant armor on him.
You can put the faded visor on him.
Or you can put a hat on Codsworth. It'd be fun.
You can put the bowler on him, but that's the only one that I'm aware of.
I haven't even tried that. That's really cute.
Yeah, and that's vanilla. I mean,
well,
yeah, it looks like
that was disabled though. Did they re-enable? Because one of the DLCs or an update disabled the bowler on Codsworth. Did they re-enable it in a later one?
That's bullshit.
Last I know I tried it, it worked. I didn't know it had been disabled.
At one point, maybe they re-enabled it.
I don't support that at all. Hey, Pat, before we get into King of the Bunker Hill, did we have Did we want to check in with Denny? Did Denny have
Oh, that's right. That's right. So Denny did send in some suggested podcast review from the Denny's Podcatcher Correspondence Corner, which we definitely want to share this. So as usual, Denny is not around to read this, so we'll just have to cover this on his behalf. So this is we picked this up off iTunes. This is a 4-star review, so it's not 5, but it's 4. Still a pretty solid review.
You can't just promote all your 5-star. You gotta.
That's right. We got to accept the feedback, right? Because we're all about taking some feedback from the fans. So this is from Phil Orts, Philhilorts, Phil Orts on iTunes. 4-star review. Headline: good and informative. So nice headline there. Some other reviews have railed on the breathing issue in one episode, which seems petty. But overall, the show has been good and has quality sound. It's a conversational format with no segments, but flows nice. There's been a lot of mod talk recently. This is written about a year ago. It's a little bit stale. And a pretty large group of hosts. So Phil Orts gave us a pretty fair review. And we'll accept there was one issue with a little bit of sound in one episode, but that's past us. I think if you were bothered by that, I think we haven't had any recurrence of the breathing issue in quite some time. So hopefully people are okay that will bear with us if we occasionally have a little bit of sound issue. So Phil Wirtz, thank you for that nice review, and we will certainly try to shout out any other reviews we get picked up on iTunes or other services. iTunes is the primary place where you can find us, although we were also directly linked in TalkShoe and a few other places as well.
I know I've held my breath through this entire episode.
As well you should. That's right. We're trained. We're trained to hold our breaths and no breathing except when your microphone is muted.
Very professional. And I know I've brought in both a squeaky chair and my old dog who's decided it's a good idea to bark all the time.
Adds character.
Another weird little thing that happens with my bug is I've built dog cages or
dog
cages,
traps.
not the traps. Is that what they are?
Mm-hmm.
And I've caught a dog, and I open up the trap, and then it stops, and I can't interact with it anymore. So now the dog is just standing inside the trap, and I can't repair it, I can't store it, I can't do anything. It's just the dog has been standing there for weeks inside of the trap now, and I can't do anything with it. So that's another fun little bug. I'm just my mind is keeping a checklist of all these weird little ticks that the game is starting to acquire as the character is. Oh man, I hope I can make it through all 6 sessions with this character. So far, the questing is all great. There's no problem with any of my questing. I'm not really crashing much. Every once in a while, I'll have a crash, but it's just the settlement aspect of the game that is seeming to disappear.
The dog trapped in a trap.
Yeah, I can't find a robo brain still. Either I know I mentioned that last week, but I've just been scouring everywhere. I've even fought a couple robo brains, but they didn't have the robo brain head as part of their, inventory that you could take after. So disappointing.
Yeah, maybe you need a mod where you can harvest brains from settlers or something.
Yeah, that's a good call. Or maybe Pat, his super cheat mod he was mentioning earlier, will let me.
Quite possibly, yeah, because I think it supports DLC stuff, junk and mods and things. It lets you add pretty much anything. So it's again, it's not. It'll let you sort of work around limitations or whatever.
I know Victor suggests to not add mods in the midstream of a playthrough, but at this point, who the fuck?
If you're as fucked up as yours is. Yeah. I mean, I think the things like this cheater mod. I don't think there's any sort of lingering effects. I think it just it's the same mod that lets you change your survival damage from 2x to 1x or 4x or whatever. So it gives. So it's not like it's not something that's sort of running all the time. You load it into your Pip-Boy, it changes something in your game, and then it sort of stops loading. So I mean, it's one that I've successfully added. I mean, I definitely, absolutely, bow to Victor's greater mod expertise, and certainly agree that it can be dangerous to add complicated mods. But it's interesting because even though it's fundamentally changes a lot about your game, it's not that complicated. It's a pretty small little mod.
What I'm sorry, could you say the name of it again?
I'll have to look it up for you, Andrew. I mean, basically what it does is it does things that in a PC you would do through the console.
Yeah.
That's you can enable God mode, you can move your character, shit like that. And I'll look it up for you on Xbox next time I'm on my Xbox and share it with you. But it's just a nice little mod. I've never had any issues with it. It seems like it's pretty clean compared to some of the more complicated mods. It's very small.
Great. Well, I will definitely have to look and see if I can, because I need to create RoboBrain so Susan can be out there with Mr. Wigglesworth, and Susan has described Mr. Wigglesworth as a RoboBrain, big sort of lumbering, lovable lug of a companion. So I've been out without the appropriate companion for quite a few weeks now because I just can't find a damn RoboBrain head anywhere. Oh.
Yeah, you just need to magic it in.
Yeah, you're right. So let's go ahead and
roll so I don't actually see one listed in the textures for the DLC.
No, they are so stingy with the RoboBrain heads. There's like in the Mechanist layer, there's like walls of them.
Right.
Why can't I take one?
It's not like there's a moral issue or anything.
No. People signed the rights away long ago. I'm sure they did this willingly.
It's probably in the
so you give a body to, what is her name, Jezebel?
Yeah. That's her name.
That's the RoboBrain. Yeah, she won't follow me anywhere though. You have to give her a body, but I mean, God, I wouldn't want to take her out anyway.
Just give her a thruster and nothing else.
Just a thruster, no
arms or legs.
Remove her.
She's going to complain about whatever you give her, so make it bad.
We'll give you a shitty response. Hey, guys, let's listen to some King of the Bunker Hill. Last time, I believe, I don't even remember who was up, but Ray, you were actually the champion last episode of
I was.
Hill. So
with my whole 2 right answers.
But it must have been a tough set of questions, right? Gee whiz. So, guys, let's go ahead and play at home. And Lee, you can write down your answers, and Pat, write down your answers, and we'll check in with you right at the end here, because that's always fun to do to see how we do. But Ray, congratulations on your last week's win. That means you will be receiving a Funko vinyl pop mini mystery figure. It's not a pop figure. It's the mini mystery figures. I know that Lee already has a pretty good collection going, and Lee won I believe the first 2 rounds of King of the Bunker Hill, so he will have those in the mail and coming his way when we get everything tallied up here at the end. But Ray, looks like you have won one already, and hopefully you'll be able to maybe add another to your collection shelf here as we go up against Adam. I think this is Adam who's been in the Facebook group for a little while, and we always appreciate Adam's good participation. He has been a play-along guy recently, and we always appreciate listening to Adam and hearing from you. A really great member of the community, and so we appreciate you participating in our silly little trivia quiz. So without much further ado, let's go through with Ray and Adam and King of the Bunker Hill. Live from Vault 97, it's the King of the Bunker Hill Quiz Show Challenge. It's the show where contestants compete to come back week after week to see who can collect the most Funko mystery minifigures. Brought to you by the Fallout Feed and ASA Podcasting. And now, your host, Susan.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, ghouls and girls, super mutants and people who would declare otherwise. Welcome to King of the Bunker Hill, the show that exists to find out who is the wisest in all the wasteland. Last week, we had a clash of titans with Michelle and Ray battling it out to prove who was the most knowledgeable nerd in all of the wasteland. And since Ray emerged victorious, and he is here with us this week. How are you doing, Ray?
I'm doing fabulous.
Excellent. How are those death claws treating you?
They're in line.
Excellent. Okay. Well, Ray, this week we have an exciting challenger for you. We have Adam. How are you doing, Adam?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Excellent, Adam. And you're obviously new to the show. And I have a few interesting factoids that apparently you wrote on your application form. And you happen to front the Ghouls Rights Brigade. So would you like to tell me a little bit about that? So you're all, apparently it's an organization that exists to expand understanding between ghouls and regular humans and promote equal rights for them. So that sounds very honorable. So would you like to tell me how you got into that?
Oh, yes. I was visiting Good Neighbor and got into contact with the mayor there, Hancock. And, well, he told me about their problem.
That's second. So what kind of activities do you take up? How do you promote equal rights for ghouls and smooth skins like us?
There's lots of different ways. There's protests, there's sit-ins, there's the weekly activity of going out hunting super mutants.
Okay. Oh, that's always good, and everyone likes it. Good. I mean, get a bit of hunting for super mutants. I mean, I mean, every so often, I suppose you meet the occasional intelligent super mutant. But no, I absolutely agree that that's a good activity. So in terms of the ghouls, I take it it's pretty much only the non-feral ones you're talking about for the rights, because I'd imagine, feral ghoul let loose in the settlement's probably not the best idea to have out there.
Yeah, we tried that once, and it ended badly.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, in terms of sort of promoting your stuff, do you use the press at all? I understand there's a young lady in Diamond City who runs a sort of newspaper. It sounds like kind of her kind of bag. Do you ever associate with her to get your message across?
Well, unfortunately, we're a nonprofit, so we really can't afford her services.
Oh, okay. No, I understand. But you know what? You should talk to me after the show, and we'll see if we can get the good works of Westworld Radio, because I believe that the best way to bring equality to the wasteland is by understanding. So I am totally up there with helping you out on that one. So we will definitely have a chat after the show. Anyway.
Oh, thank you.
It's happy to help. Okay, so we've got our contestants, ladies and gentlemen. And it is now time to get on with the show. So, as is now tradition, we will have our challenger. So, Adam, you're going to go first, which means, Ray, I will need you to step into the little soundproof booth over there and put the soundproof headphones on and make sure that you can't hear what Adam's going to say to us. So, just give me the signal when you're ready to go, and we will get on with the show. Okay, he's giving me the signal, and he is absolutely ready to go. So, okay, Adam, are you pumped? Are you ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
Okay. All right, here we go. Question 1. What actor voices the father character James in Fallout 3? What actor voices the father character in Fallout 3?
I believe that is Liam Neeson.
That is correct. He is a man with a peculiar set of skills. So, excellent. Well done. 1 for 1. You're on fire, Adam. You're on fire. Question 2. Name the unique shotgun found at Libertalia in Fallout 4. Any ideas at all?
I know it's it's French, but I can't think of it.
That was the only clue I was available to give you. That it is indeed French, and I can't really give you much more beyond that.
I'll guess La Messi.
He's a great football player, but I'm afraid that is incorrect. The answer is Le Fusil Terrible, or Terribles. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. I don't speak French. Okay, never mind. Okay, we're 1 for 2. It's fine. Question 3. Name the magazine that improves lock-picking skills.
Oh, I don't know.
It's I guess it's sort of lock-picky related. That's about all I can give you.
Yeah, I know this one's not right, but I'll guess U.S. Covert Ops.
I'm afraid that is incorrect. The correct answer is Tumblers Today, which is sounds very dull, but that is the name of that magazine. Okay, don't worry. We're going to move on to question 4. We're 1 for 3. It's fine. Question 4. In which location is the beryllium agitator found in Fallout 4?
Something atomics. I can't think of it.
It's a sort of futuristic-y sounding place, but not sort of
General Atomics?
It's not. I'm afraid that is incorrect. The correct answer, mass fusion. The correct answer is mass fusion. Okay. Don't worry. We're going to move on to question 5, and it's a good one. Who leads the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4?
Elder Maxon.
Yes, that is correct. Ding, ding, ding. That is correct. Okay, so Adam, you got 2 out of 5. That is a good score. We'll just have to see how Ray is gonna square up to you. So, Adam, you can stay in the room here. That's fine. Let's give the signal to get Ray back in now. So let's give Ray that little signal. Ray, are you ready to go?
Before we get Ray in, ask Adam the.
Oh, you want to do that before? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No worries. No, okay, that's fine. All right. Okay.
Let me clip that out. Hang on a second.
Okay. All right. Adam, just before you go, I'm going to give you a chance to answer the tiebreaker question, and I just want to see how you do. Don't worry, it's a difficult question, but I'm not expecting you to get 100% right. What we're looking for here is whoever out of you or Ray gets the nearest to the correct answer. Okay. So, here is the question. In Fallout 4, junk is broken down into useful components at your workbench. How many unique components are in the game?
I'm going to say 25.
Okay, 25. That is a good answer. Well, I tell you what, I'm not going to tell you what the correct answer is, but that is a good answer. It is good, and we will see how Ray does. So let's get Ray back into the room. Can we give him the signal? Andrew, my producer bot, can you get him back in here for me?
Boop, boop.
Okay, Ray, how are you doing?
I am doing great, thanks.
Okay, well, you had a stormer last week, and I'm going to tell you that Adam, he's done very well. So, but let's just get on with you, and we'll see how it goes. So, are you ready?
I am ready to go.
You ready for your second game?
I am.
Okay. Right. I believe that. Okay. Question 1. What actor voices the father character James in Fallout 3? What actor voices the father character James in Fallout 3?
Absolutely no idea.
Okay. I will say he's male. And
that narrows it down.
Yeah, I believe it. I personally think it does. Okay. Yeah.
Because I was going to say Susan, but That can't be it.
Yeah, you know, I get about, but unfortunately, that's not me. Unfortunately, that isn't correct. The correct answer is Liam Neeson. You know, the man with a very specific set of skills. Okay, right. Never mind. That's it. We'll just throw that one aside. Question 2. Name the unique shotgun found at Libertalia in Fallout 4.
Les Miserables.
Is that your final answer? You're close, but are you sure that's your final answer?
There's more to it than the miserable.
It's there's more to it. It's a bit different.
Oh. That's all I know.
Okay, unfortunately, that is incorrect. The correct answer is Le Fusil Terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, okay.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I knew it was French.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
Michelle would have gotten that one.
Would have done. Okay, don't worry. Question 3. Name the magazine that improves lock-picking skill.
Tumblers Today.
That is correct. Okay, excellent. Good work. Right, so we're 1 for 3. Question 4. In which location is the beryllium agitator found in Fallout 4?
The Mass Fusion Building.
That is also correct. Well done. We are 2 out of 4. On fire, on fire. Right. Here we go. Question 5. Last one of the round. Who leads the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4?
Elder Maxon.
That is correct. Fantastic. That is 3 out of 5. Correct. Well done. But before we reveal who is the winner, I am going to ask you the tiebreaker question because it is lots of fun. So this is basically I don't expect you to get the correct answer, although if you do, I'm sure we can give you much adulation and joy. But just as close as you can get would be wonderful. So in Fallout 4, junk is broken down into useful components at your workbench. How many unique components are in the game?
Well, short of naming them off one by one and counting, I'm going to throw out a guess of 28.
Okay, 28. All right. Okay. Right. Well, that is the end of this particular game. And I have to reveal that Ray, you scored 3 out of 5. And Adam, you scored 2 out of 5. So that does mean that Ray, you are once again the defending champion, or you are again the champion. So excellent work, and you win your little minifigure courtesy of the Fallout Feed and ASA podcasting. And in terms of the tiebreaker, the correct answer is in Fallout 4, junk is broken down into useful components at your workbench. How many unique components are in the game? And the answer is 31. Oh. So, yeah, Ray, you were very close with 28. And I believe, Adam, you said 25. So also stonkingly close as well. But, yeah, so... But that does mean that this week we have Ray as the champion once again, and you'll be coming back next episode to defend your title. How are you feeling?
I feel great. I'm looking forward to it.
That's excellent. And I'm going to say commiserations to you, Adam. You had a great game. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Thank you for having me, and congratulations to Ray.
That's Great sportsmanship there, Adam. That's really nice to see. But thank you, Adam, very much for coming on the show. And I have to say, your ghoul policy is fantastic and very admirable. And I hope that we here at Westworld Radio will be able to help you with that in the future. So thank you once again for coming on the show. And both of you, excellent show once again. Ray, well done. A worthy winner. And we will see everyone out there next time for King of the Bunker Hill. Stay safe out there.
Thank you for listening to this edition of the King of the Bunker Hill Quiz Show Challenge, brought to you by the Fallout Feed and ASA Podcasting. Join Susan next time to see who will win the coveted Funko Mystery Minifigures and be crowned King of the Bunker Hill. Oh, and thank you, Susan, for another wonderfully intriguing episode of King of the Bunker Hill.
All right.
That's great. Oh, awesome. We love Susan, aka our great friend Laura Manuel, who will be our play-along participant, at least for the first episode of Session 3. Who will be next week. We'll be joined by Susan herself, everyone. So I'm pretty excited about that. And I believe Victor will also be joining us next week. So we'll have Victor and Laura, hopefully. So that'll be a fun show where we get to cover. What are we doing? We're doing the Tales quest first.
Yeah. Yes. So if we do them in those order, and in that order, we have we got Rock'em Sock'em Robots, You've Got Mail, and Jet Fueled will be the three we'll do next week.
Well, we'll try to cover all of those. If we don't quite get to them all, then we can bleed that over. If we don't quite get all of Jet Fueled done or something, we can try to cover them all. But we don't want to dilly-dally because we've got the Grand Tour. Those are all big, long dungeon crawls. Each of those are pretty long themselves. So yeah, lots to get into over the next couple of weeks here. So it'll be exciting stuff. So let's just quickly go over Pat and Lee. Did you know Liam Neeson was the father voice actor?
Yes.
No idea.
And cool. La Fusée Terrible.
Terrible. Yeah.
No idea.
Pat, Pat, have you ever missed one of these trivia questions? Wait, you said you only got 3 left.
I think I was 3 out of 5. Last week was tough. I was only 3 out of 5. Yeah.
Tumblers today?
Yep, Tumblers today. Yep.
I guess Locksmith today. No, I was wrong.
Oh, that's close though, Lee. That's better than I would have gotten. Did you know where the beryllium agitator is found?
No idea.
Yep. Ye old mass fusion.
And the easiest question this week was the BOS leader. Maxon, right? Did you guys both get Maxon?
Yep. Yeah.
Got Maxon. I didn't remember the elder part, but
I would have taken that.
Got Maxon anyway.
Great. Wow. Geez, Pat, 5 for 5. You're blowing through. How many components did you guys guess? How many components you thought the junk broke down to?
46.
Yeah, I overshot too. I had 42.
Yeah,
that would have been perfect.
Good range. Nice. Now that's pretty impressive. We got to have Pat be a contestant here on King of the Bunker Hill at some point. That'd be fun.
Pix would be in. There's no way. Yeah, it would not be appropriate.
Oh, just too good. I mean, all right.
I know that we've all learned sportsmanship from Vault 97 and West Vault Radio because they play so many songs by the Sportsmen.
Oh yes, their favorite group of the Sportsmen over there.
Yep.
She definitely throws the curveball with the the little bits of information that she gleans from our entry forms.
Yeah, really. When I forgot what she hit me with. It was like jet skiing or something, and I just said, "Yeah, sure, fine."
Sure, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, why not?
Deathclaw Whisper. Where does that come from?
Battle and ride Deathclaws around or something. That'd be a great picture of Ray riding a Deathclaw off into the sunset. So did we have any other business we need to get into tonight? I think we're pretty ready to close it down. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Great show, Lee and Ray. Thank you both for joining. Really fun to hear you guys jumping in with your perspective on the quest and and all the other tips and everything we covered. I think we good stuff. We covered a lot of interesting things this evening.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
It's been fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks so much for being our play along contestant. Participant, Ray. These last couple of episodes, it's been great to chat with you, and Lee, it's great to have you on as a play along participant as well. Again, reminder: next week our play along participants will be Laura, Susan herself, and Victor from ASA Mod Talk. So, looking forward to next week's episode. So, yeah, take us home.
Sounds like great fun.
All right. Sounds good, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Y'all take care.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Skyrimatic Podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.